Hey, this is David with the Shepherd School, and we're about to go out to the range and do a little bump firing. Now, bump firing is basically a means of simulating fully automatic fire in a semi-automatic firearm. You know, the federal regulations are very, very clear. Without certain licenses, without certain taxes, and without the firearms being made at a certain time, it's highly illegal for a person to have a firearm that is fully automatic. And the definition would be more than one round fired per manipulation of the trigger pull. So like a Gatling gun with a crank, because each crank is a manipulation of the trigger, so as you crank and the rounds go off, that would be a semi-automatic gun, right? It would not be considered fully automatic. Take the crank off, put a motor to it, have a switch where you hit the switch and the motor starts running. One manipulation of the switch, multiple rounds fired, makes it fully automatic, makes you go to jail. So what I've got is an AR, okay? It's clear, no ammunition in there. Put it up on fire, all right? When we do go to this range to bump fire, what we're going to do is I'm going to take my trigger finger and put it in the trigger well and hold it stationary. And then I'm going to push the gun against my trigger finger. The trigger finger is going to stay in one spot. And as I push it forward, the gun's going to go off, right? And that's going to cause it to recoil backwards, which would reset the trigger. And then I push it forward. Bang. Recoil. Since I'm pushing forward, bang. And what it's going to do is it's going to simulate firing this thing fully automatic. Even though it's one shot per trigger pull, because my trigger finger is activating the gun as I'm pushing the gun into the trigger. Now, I don't do this very often because it's highly impractical, wastes a lot of money, very hard to aim, but it is kind of fun, it is kind of cool when you go to the range and you know, put off a bunch of rounds in the dirt. You know, people look and you know, it's a good conversation piece. It's awful fun, but really I don't see any practical purposes, okay? Now, when we go out to the range, the way that we typically do this is I take my trigger finger and I hook it into my belt loop. So usually I fire at waist level, take my finger through the trigger guard, hook it on my belt loop, and then with my support hand, basically I just grab the fore end and pull forward, okay? So it's just going to be just like that when we go out to the range, okay? So let's go to the range and let's actually look at this.